Okay, so basically this move do two things. First one, White develops his bishop, and secondly, White wants to place his rook to c1 so that he can target this weak c7 pawn. So that's why after seeing this, Vishy brings his rook to a7 so that he can bring his bishop to e4, which targets this queen. Maybe he wants to bring his queen to e3 so that he can push this pawn in future and creates a discover attack to this rook. So that's why he decides to develop his knight to c6. Clearly you can see that here Vishy wants to capture this knight so that he can grab this d4 pawn. So that's why after seeing this all, Kramnik decides to push e3, which strengthens the pawn structure. And after this, queen to a8, and here black is planning to create an attack towards this h1 diagonal, and as you can see that this queen on b3 is not doing too much. So that's why here after seeing this, Kramnik decides to bring his queen back to d1, and now he can develop his knight to c3, which also targets this bishop. And now the best move for black is to just push b4 so that he can so that he cannot develop his knight to c3. But instead here Anand bring back his knight to b8, which connects the queen and this bishop, and as you can see black is doing great. But guys, here white can also play this amazing move, which is bishop to b6, which attacks this rook, and obviously black can't capture this bishop due to pin. So that's why here black has to move his rook. So suppose if rook to b7, now comes bishop to c5, threatening to capture this bishop, so that here white can capture this rook on c8. So that's why after takes, and now you can see that after this all, white can take a comfortable oxygen and he feels free. Okay, so in the actual game, after knight at b goes to d2, okay, so basically by this move, white connects the queen with the bishop so that he can comfortably move his knight to f3. Because as you can see, this bishop on d5 and this queen are creating a threat to capture this bishop on g2 after this knight moves anywhere. Here you can see Vishy wants to play c5, so that's why after seeing this, Kramnik immediately goes for b4.
King C6.
But guys, instead of this move, in this position, here White can also consider this move queen to d4, creating more pressure towards this knight, and if he decides to go to f6 square, then White can push e5, which attacks this knight. So that's why here Black can defend this by simply bishop to e6. But now comes f4, and you can see that in the next move White will trap this bishop. So that's why knight to f6, creating an escaping square for this bishop. But after that, queen to b6, asking for queen exchange. And as you can see, Black has to exchange this queen because these pawns are in danger. So that's why after takes, bishop takes b6, and at the end you can see that White has these solid pawn structure, and clearly you can see White is better. Okay, so in the actual game, after rook to d6, As you can see, black is attacking this f4 pawn, and here white cannot capture this knight on d5. This is because after takes by this exchange, now you can see that here white lose all of his advantage and this game is completely equal now. Okay, so let's go back to our move. And here you can see white sacrificed his f4 pawn. This is because after takes, now Kramnik immediately brings his king further to e3, attacking this knight, and now it's better for black to bring his knight to e2 so that he can place this to c3 and then b1, which it targets this a3 pawn. But instead he blunders by playing g5. This is because now Kramnik firstly captured this pawn on a6, and after that white will going to push a4, and as you can see this b5 pawn is pinned, so that's why white will be a pawn up. Okay, so let's go back to this move g5. Instead of playing this, why I am saying that this move knight to e2 is important. Suppose if black played this move and white captured this a6 pawn, but simply king to f7. But why? This is because suppose if he tries to just attack this pawn, then knight to c3, attacking this pawn as well as guarding this a4 pawn. And after suppose takes, simply knight takes b5, and now you can see that this game is completely equal. Okay, so in the actual game, after bishop takes a6, and now you can see black wants to push g3. So that's why after seeing this, simply bishop to f2. And in this position, the final move by Kramnik is bishop to c5 check, and in this position Vishy resigned. This is because suppose if black move his king, now comes king to e5, okay, and if he push, then simply it will not gonna work, and these checks are really worthless. And finally knight to e6, then b5. And now you can see that no one can stop this B pawn from promotion. Like this video and make sure to hype this video so that we can bring this to the hype section. This is your host Bison signing off. Bye bye.